Have you ever thought that the moon, this constant companion of our nights, might be something more than just a simple satellite? There is an intriguing and controversial theory about this that has occupied the minds of scientists and space enthusiasts for years. This theory suggests that the moon might be a hollow and artificial structure created by extraterrestrial beings and placed in Earth's orbit. The moon has been a companion to our nights since ancient times and has played an important role in various cultures and myths. However, despite this sense of closeness, the moon is still full of mysteries. Scientists have unanswered questions about how the moon was formed, its unusual orbit, why it is located at this particular distance from Earth, as well as its density, composition, and structure. There are various theories about the moon. For example, the captured moon theory, or demon capture theory, suggests that the moon was a wandering body that, when it came close to Earth, was pulled into Earth's orbit by its gravity. However, scientifically, this event is almost impossible. Or the accretion theory, which in English is called the accretion theory, suggests that the Earth and the moon formed simultaneously from a cosmic dust cloud in the early solar system. However, if this were the case, the moon should also have an iron core like Earth and rotate on its axis, neither of which is true. The next theory, known as the fission theory, proposes that in the early formation of planet Earth, the planet was extremely hot and spinning at an incredibly high speed, which caused a piece of it to break off and form the moon. It's interesting to know that this theory went so far as to suggest that the Pacific Ocean might be the empty space left by the detached piece. However, this theory was also challenged because physics proved that the Earth never spun fast enough for such an event to occur. On the other hand, the composition of the moon does not match with the Earth at all, and the moon's rocks are much older than even the rocks at the bottom of Earth's oceans, so this theory was also dismissed. But the fourth theory, which is the most popular, is known as the giant impact hypothesis. This theory suggests that a Mars-sized celestial body collided with Earth in the early stages of the planet's formation, and this collision created a cloud of rock and dust from which the moon was later formed. However, the problem is that the conditions for this collision would have had to be so precise and specific that the likelihood of it happening is almost zero. But wait. There is a newer theory that attempts to answer all the unanswered questions about the moon. This theory, known as the hollow moon theory, or the halo moon theory, suggests that the moon is a hollow and indeed artificial structure that was created by extraterrestrial beings and placed in Earth's orbit. That's why it has such strange and unusual features, meaning that the moon was actually brought here from somewhere outside the solar system, and that's why its characteristics don't match those of Earth. In 1970, two Russian scientists named Michael Vasin and Alexander Shcherbakov published an article in which they proposed this theory. They believe that the moon is a massive spacecraft constructed by an advanced civilization. According to them, the craters on the moon, especially the large ones, are very shallow, flat, or convex, which could indicate a solid internal body. These two scientists also pointed to the moon's chemical composition, which includes chromium, titanium, and zirconium. It's interesting to note that these elements are rare on Earth, so this difference in composition contradicts the widely accepted theory that the moon was once part of the Earth, separated due to a planetary collision. Another piece of evidence presented for this theory is that during the Apollo missions, when the Apollo 12 lunar module was deliberately released towards the moon to measure the vibrations from the impact, the moon rang like a bell and vibrated for over an hour. In the next mission, a heavier object was dropped on the moon's surface, and this time the moon rang and vibrated for over 3 hours. This phenomenon could indicate that the moon is hollow. In fact, on Earth, when an earthquake occurs, the vibrations gradually diminish and stop. But on the moon, these vibrations continued and even increased as they went deeper. This suggests that, unlike Earth, the moon does not have a dense core and might be hollow. On the other hand, the density of the moon is also an important factor. The moon has about 27% of Earth's diameter, but only 1.2% of Earth's mass, which means the moon has a much lower density compared to Earth. This makes the idea of the moon being hollow seem more logical. However, some also say that because the moon lacks water and a dense atmosphere, it causes the vibrations to last longer on the moon. Nevertheless, the scientific community has generally rejected the hollow moon theory and considers it more of a fantasy and illusion. In other words, they categorize this theory more as a conspiracy theory. However, there are still some who believe that the hollow moon theory is correct, and that the moon was constructed by aliens and placed in its current position. So if this theory is being dismissed, the reason can only be secrecy. What do you think? And what are your thoughts? Be sure to write your opinion in the comment section below. But before the video ends, it's worth mentioning a few intriguing and mysterious facts about the moon. Before we wrap up, it is some fascinating information to consider. In the entire solar system, there is almost no planet with a moon this large. Therefore, the size ratio of the moon to Earth is something completely unusual. The moon's orbit is almost a perfect circle. As you know, all celestial bodies have elliptical orbits, but the moon's orbit is almost a perfect circle, which is also very unusual. Another mysterious aspect is that the size of the moon and the sun is such that it causes a solar eclipse. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, but exactly 400 times closer to Earth. Do you think this could be a coincidence or not? Maybe. But when the number of these coincidences increases, we should think a little more about it. Some ancient civilizations, like the Greeks and Romans of the 5th century BC, have stories that say there was a time when the moon was not in the sky. In fact, these civilizations say that the presence of the moon in the sky relates to the Earth's recent past. Despite all these theories and evidence, whether we view it as a natural satellite or as an artificial structure, it still amazes us and makes us ponder. It can be said that the mysteries of the moon are endless, and the unanswered questions increase day by day. We can only have our own speculations and make guesses, hoping that one day we will be able to find answers to these questions and uncover all the mysteries of the moon. Thank you for staying with us until the end of this video from the World Stories channel. I hope you have liked the video by now and subscribed to the channel so you don't miss the exciting upcoming videos.